And then, once my confidence got even better, and I was enjoying reading a little bit more, then I was given a book that wasn't funny, that was absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And I thought I'd share that with you. And it was this book. And it was called After the Bomb. And After the Bomb was a story set in Los Angeles about a family trying to survive after the accidental explosion of a nuclear bomb. And all sorts of terrible things were happening, right? There was radiation poisoning, and people were dying all over the place, and there was gangs running around killing people. It was really frightening. And the whole time I'm thinking, right, what would I do if I was in that scenario, right? What would I do? What if, right? What if that really happened? And it was the very, very first time I read a book, right, by torchlight. Does anybody here read it with a flashlight at night, a torchlight at night? A few people, yeah? So that's what I would do. And I remember I said I was a bit of a slow reader, right? So I'd be reading this book late at night, lying in bed, reading, right, with my flashlight. And then what would happen? What happens to you guys if you're reading, you're staying up way past your bedtime to read? Yeah.
I get really sleepy. If it's a scary book, I have nightmares about.
You get nightmares, yeah. Well, so that's probably what was going to happen, except, right, I'm thinking to myself this whole time, what would I do? If I'm in this story, what would I do? What if it was me? I'm thinking about this all myself, and I'm really engrossed in this book, right? Because I never know what's going to happen to the main character. Is he going to live? Is he going to die? What's going to happen? And then my dad would come in, and he would say, Jeffrey Ryan Hunter Norton. My middle name, my full names, right? You know that your parents are mad at you when they use your middle names, right? He's like, Jeffrey Ryan Hunter Norton, get to bed. And he'd order me to bed, and he'd make sure my light was off, and he'd take my flashlight away. And then I'm lying there in the dark with this book, not knowing how it's going to end, thinking to myself, well, what would I do, right? If I was in that scenario, what's going to happen? I'm sort of projecting myself into the role of the main character, right? Always thinking about, well, what would I do? What would I do? Now, I said I was a slow reader, right? But I'm not stupid. So I've got a spare flashlight. So I got another flashlight. I keep going, right? Keep reading, pretty slow reader, right? A few pages in, reading. And then my mom comes in. Now, she's a lot nicer, so she doesn't yell at me. She just says, oh, Jeffrey, blah, 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 test in the morning, blah, 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 your academic career, blah, 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 you know, you're always grumpy if you don't get enough sleep, which is true, by the way. And she takes my flashlight away. So now, I'm down 2 flashlights. I'm laying in bed. I've got this book. It's pitch dark. I want to see what's going to happen. And what do? Tiptoe out of bed, right? Tiptoe out of bed. Flick on the light. Get back into bed. Okay, got the light on. I'm going to keep reading. Now, I'm on borrowed time here, right? Because both my dad and my mom have been in. Sure enough, the floorboards give me away, right? I don't know if you guys have creaky floorboards in your houses, right? Creak, creak, creak. I'm in bed. My dad busts in again. Jeffrey Ryan Hunter Norton. He's in his pajamas. He's ready for bed. It's all gnarly. Nobody needs to see that, right? And he takes the book away. So now I've got nothing, except for my imagination, which will probably lead to nightmares, just like you, by the way. And what I learned in that night, right, what I learned at that time is that good books get you in trouble, right? A really great book gets you in trouble with your parents because you want to stay up and read it. So my goal, right, now that I'm a writer, my goal is to get you guys in trouble.